What does it feel like to be under the 150s consistently? I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fast. And obviously anybody could have told you that, right? I mean, 150, sub 150, you're definitely more in the elite part of being an 800-meter runner. But as a runner who was consistently stuck in the 153s, 152s, 155s, and even the twos for a while, I can definitely resonate to what it felt like to be in those type of times, right? When I was a 159 to a 2 flat runner, I thought there was no way in the world that I could possibly go faster. Coming across 458, 59, and then somehow closing in another 60 or a 61, I felt like my legs were gonna fall off, right? But as you train and as you mature and as you get better as an 800-meter runner, things slowly start to click more. And honestly, it all depends upon how you train. If you train like a 2 flat to a 158 runner, you're obviously gonna perform like that, right? Unless you get into some crazy fast heat and you're just on one day and then bam, you drop a 155 or a 154, it's gonna happen. But overall, naturally, what's gonna happen is how you train is how you prepare, right? Or how you prepare is how you're gonna perform. And me right now, right, I'm doing practice reps where I'm consistently hitting 52s through 400 into 500, or I'm hitting 51s to 50 points when I got an all out. Like the other day, for example, I had a workout. It was 4, 2, 2, 90 seconds rest, and then like 3 100s, right? I hit the 4 and 51 3. I had like 3 minutes rest, and I hit 2 200s back to back, both in 25 seconds. And I felt perfectly fine. But you go back a few years, back to 2019, 2020, 51 is my PR. And so it just goes to show how much goes to show when you're consistent with your training, right? And back to the actual race feeling. When you're in a race and you're going 147, 148, 149, you are flying out the gate, right? Most of the time, these races are opening up anywhere from 24, 25 to 26 seconds. And that's zooming. That's some people's 200 meters PR. Shoot, that was my 200 meter PR not too long ago, right? And now I'm doing that consistently for the first 200 meters of an 800 meter race, of a half-mile race. And with a term, you don't really have much space to move and you can't really go much faster. It's like you are putting energy into the ground and you were flying and zooming across this track, but so is everyone else around you. And so it's just normal, right? Whatever environment you're in, you're going to adapt to. That's true with life, and it's true definitely with this 800 meter race. And so you're in this 800 meter race and you're running, you're zooming, right? You're going through 24, 25, 26. You're coming through 400 meters, anywhere from 51, 52, 53 seconds. And that's how you train. I mean, if you're consistently doing 6 to 8 mile runs, if you have a decent amount of mileage and you have a good aerobic capacity on top of a lot of speed training, if you do a lot of 4x4s, if you're consistently splitting 46, 47, 48, you're gonna know what that's like going through 400, 500 meters. You're gonna be like, dang, like I just kind of feel like I'm stuck. It's very hard to make a move at that speed. If you're already going 53, 52 through 400, there's only so much more you can do unless you pull a Will Sumner and split a 51 split on the back end, right, and go 144. But back to my point though, it honestly isn't that different. All races under 150 really do feel the same, and it's based upon how your fitness and how you're built as an athlete. I definitely do think that habits and getting into a good routine that do help. A lot of my races where I've gone 147 to 148 have had similar routines beforehand, whether it was mentally, where I would wake up early in the morning, do some stretches, do a shakeout, read a book, journal, meditate. I was in the right state of mind for that race, and I was competitive, man. I'd go out there, I'd be hungry, I'd have a reason. Every single race, you have to approach it with some sort of reason to want to run that fast, right? Especially if you have a barrier or a time mark, a personal vendetta in order to get under a certain mark. Me, for example, right? I have a 146 I want to achieve because I want to go to the Olympic trials. Right now I'm at 147, on number 6 all time in school history, but I want to try to get to number 3 all time, number 4 all time, right? I want to keep on going for it. Let's say, for example, you're a 151, 152 runner and you really want to hit that 150 and you really, really want to hit that 149. Look up on YouTube, how do 149 runners run? I promise you, 151 to 149 is not that big of a difference. Just like my case, 147 to 145, it's right there. It's 2 seconds. Count with me. 1, 2. That's the difference between me being a 147 and 145, except the 147 doesn't go to the Olympic trials. The 145 does. So it honestly is just about pacing, dude. I mean, when I ran my 147 indoors, bro, it just felt like the race never slowed down. Like if you made a move, you only had one move to make. That's how fast it was, because you're coming through in 25, you're coming through in 52, you're coming through in 119. And by the time you come through in 119, your legs are bricks. You're just trying to finish that race and hope that you don't have too much lactic and you lock up, right? And so that's why you have to be very strategic and very smart in these races, especially moving at such high speeds and high velocities. Because when you're training this aggressive too, your body is subject to a lot of different injuries and a lot of different things. I mean, mental fatigue and physical fatigue at this level are so much more at risk than what it was whether you were a 2 flat or a 205 runner. And that's just from personal experience, right? I mean, like in high school, track was more of a side gig to where I would do it. I was good at it on the side, but I played football and track was my main priority. But then you fast forward to college, this is my full day job, right? I mean, all I'm thinking about is track for the most part. I'm practicing for 2-3 hours a day. My sleep schedule revolves around me being a track athlete. My school schedule revolves around me being a track athlete. So I honestly say there is not that much of a difference. Just the difference is the level of dedication that you put into it as a certain amount of runner. Because I guarantee you, if you're a 202 to 203 runner, there's more that you can be doing to become a 155 to 154. And then vice versa, if you're a 154 to 153, there's a lot more you can be doing to become a 146 and a 147. And even in my scenario too, I'm sure that the Olympians, man, the ones who are 142s, 143s, they're doing a heck of a lot more training than I am. Their recovery runs are probably 530 pace to 515 pace. They're probably doing 2 a day. They probably have a better diet than me or a better sleep schedule and personal trainers and all these different things. But you can't get caught up about what other people are doing. All you can control as an athlete is who you are, what you're doing, and who you want to become. Set your goals high, mimic the other athletes that you want to be like, right? There's a lot of athletes that I see and I see their form and I see their stride and I see the way that they're breathing and I'm like, like that looked pretty good. That guy ran a pretty good time. Let me see how I can mimic that into some type of way that fits for me, right? Maybe it's I saw somebody, having their hands more open, right? Instead of me where I used to lock up my last 100 and be like this. Started opening up my hands more, try to be more fluid, trying to actually use my knees the last 50 meters instead of back kicking, right? Just the little things in track, because like I said, a 0.5 difference could be the difference between you being a champion and you being second place and you being third place. You just never know. So for all my runners out there who want to achieve that 150 mark, it's possible. Trust me, it is very much possible. You just have to stay consistent and you just have to want it, really. If you are not a 150 runner by now, you're just not wanting it enough. And that sounds funny, but that was the same mentality I had when I was a 154 runner, 153. I'm like, okay, what would a 150 runner be doing right now? What would a 149 runner be doing right now? Would a 146 runner be eating this, or would a 152 runner be eating this, right? It's just the little things, and the little things do stack up and you accumulate over time. So choose what type of runner you want to be, but trust me, you want to be under that 150 mark. And I know you can do it because I believe in you, because I've done it multiple times. I've done it 6 or 7, I think even 8 times. I don't even know, but I know you have what it takes. Go out there, get it done. And if you really want to learn how to do it, go check out some of my other videos about my training where I break down everything as to how I became a sub 150 meter runner consistently. This has been Nico Schultz. Thank y'all for 3,000 on YouTube. We finally hit that and we are still growing. Come on, baby. Drop those PRs in the comments. And as always, see y'all next time and keep on running fast. Peace.